Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Her Story. Let's continue our gameplay search. What are we doing here? Is this gameplay or is this searching a database? I don't know. It's hard to really get a feel on it, whether this actually is a game or it's a mystery and it feels like a mystery book type thing. But since there's no win-lose scenario here of any sort, the only thing you can do is give up and get frustrated. I'm not sure I could call this really a game. I'm pretty liberal about calling things games too, but the only thing interactive here is the mirror game. That is the only thing that is interactive where you could win or lose. So I guess technically, by the smallest technicality, it's a game because it includes that. But right now, I think that's it. So we were searching the word silver. One thing I've thought about here is I believe there is a reason for all this graphics being so low. I don't think they just had the artistic ability to make the graphics look good. Because if you think about it, you could do this exact same story and just have this be a Windows 10 PC, a Windows 10 looking app, and these videos that were probably shot on a better quality camera wouldn't need any of the effects and filters put on them, such as the glare and all of this. Trying to set it in the past really doesn't matter. You could have set this in 2015, and it could be a year-old case, or it could be a case that you're just researching like 6 months after it had happened. There's no reason so far that I've seen for this to occur in the past. Well, let's get moving here.
Silverleaf? No. He normally solves them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Let's see. So that was interesting because that's the first piece of evidence we've seen her hold or talk about. And we will definitely want to search the phrase mirror later.
Silverleaf? No. He normally solves them properly.
So we'll add that to the session. And she looks right in the mirror when she says that.
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. That's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me.
So that's almost the exact same conversation. I wonder if we're gonna end up running into a bunch of this. But that seems like that was the same conversation that just happened too. Look, when does this start? 15:47:40 and 15:47:30.
No. He normally solves them properly.
So it's like
this mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good.
35. So there's only like 40 seconds between this clip and this clip. And yet it doesn't even seem that connected.
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand.
So she's just repeating herself. Very strange. Was there anything here new to search?
Look, On his clothes? That would make sense.
Did we search
He made
clothes?
it. By hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. That's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror. And he gave it to me.
Let's try clothes right now. Let's just, instead of adding that one. One thing that's becoming very apparent is that the dialogue chosen for each one of these clips is a massive spider web designed to get you to the next thing. It's very possible that in normal talking you wouldn't reference the same things over and over again in enough ways that searching in this database like we are, you'd actually be able to find all the elements that we are finding. Alright, let's move this over here because that's what we're trying to do. Let's play this one.
When will the police let me back in the house? They let me take a bag of clothes with me, but...
So, police, house, and clothes were the only ones there. I'm gonna call that red coat, and then 27-06-94. Why back in the house? Why are they not letting her in the house? Yeah. Interesting thought.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me. But that was it. We didn't want another card on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
So we have now opened the door just by searching the word clothes to the story here in this interrogation room B. She is obviously, let's see, I'm gonna call this the white shirt. I hope that's right. 03-07/94. So she's indicating here that she's either a twin or more. That there's two identical twins or identical triplets even, or more. Probably just twins, but we can't just immediately assume they're twins. Or she is a split personality, and who knows which is true right now. But I kind of, from the beginning, have been assuming, or at least suspecting, she had some kind of split personality, or is going to at least try to claim to have a split personality to blame the murder on. So we're going to go further in this storyline, which we probably really shouldn't, because when we look at like the DB checker, there's still a lot of videos in this early section compared to what I believe the white shirts are right about here, or maybe right here even. Yellow, this has a slightly yellowish color versus the green. It's probably hard to tell for most people, and I assume the yellow is the last accessed one. So let's try this. Let's move on, but
her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror, just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
so I think we just activated an ending as such, and there's an achievement where you see your reflection when the anti-glare is on. So I'll just leave that off though. But we've got music playing here, and I think we could probably just log off right now, and that would be one ending. But why would I want to do that? Just because I've accidentally wandered into some explanation here? So here's the last access. That video we just wandered into is 5th to the last one. But there's still a lot to know here, because we want to know what they say first. We want to know if she's crazy. We want to know if this is a lie. Let's just continue and see what happens to the audio. Did I tag this one? No, I didn't. It seems like thematically hidden in here, in the name, her story, and in the mirror game, this concept was being hinted at. Mirror game, mirror being mentioned. It all kind of makes sense. I'm also kind of wondering if you just typed in her story, you would get that, because you totally would. In fact, after we watch this one, let's just, as a joke, type in her story and see what videos come up.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
And again, what's happening here, I think, is when we play this...
It happened very quickly.
Let's see if we click out here. No, I gotta watch it all.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed
with the glare filter on,
silently.
The lights are supposed to flicker when you see specific videos like this, and you're supposed to see your own reflection.
The broken mirror, her clothes, they're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, That was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
See, now it's not doing it. Alright, fine. Whatever. I'll stop messing with that. I may have already even gotten that achievement. It may not actually require you to have the glare filter on. Alright, so let's put that back because that just looks a little bit better. So if we type in her story, you get a couple of them right there.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind, but she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
So what's funny is it didn't say her story right next to each other. Instead it was her and then story were very separate in that one. Double checking the date because I can barely see the 6 here. It looks like an 8. I am also sitting very far from my TV computer screen. I probably could read it if I was sitting closer.
Florence was a warm, kind person, but she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
So, I don't think that information's probably useful, but I want to add a session there. I also want to add a session here in case we do need to go research Rapunzel. Let's get back on track now and see what keywords here.
Yes, that would be in his wallet.
Wallet.
It's a Visa.
Visa we did. Silver we did.
He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays.
Did we search money and cash? Let's try money and cash. Money sends us down a new thing. Alright.
Sure, I think. I do all the bills and paperwork and handle all the money stuff, so it should be easy for me to find. Do you want them dropped off to you?
Alright, so bills and paperwork is something to search. 18-06-94. Well, if I type that in right. So I'm ending up putting a considerable amount of things in the session, and I suspect that eventually we're going to end up just dragging all of them in this session. I think that's the only way you really are going to be able to do this and actually see everything.
No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier, he doesn't have much money. I don't know. I don't know.
So I want to search that word glazier just to make sure we have a clue. We're certain that that's just the name of a job and it doesn't come up anymore. So that goes to the session too.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday.
We haven't searched birthday or
Bob was
police.
playing in London, and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve, so my parents let me off.
So, Portsmouth. Is someplace in the UK. Maybe I was confusing Portsmouth with Portland. Portland. Let's see. Let's add that to the session. We want to talk to Search Eve, see if she gets mentioned again.
If you put me on You've Been Framed, I want the money.
Interesting. (0107-94). So there's a new phrase, framed. And next thing we were going to search was cash. Nope. So let's look at
Yes,
this video.
that would be in his wallet.
See if there's
It's
any
a Visa.
last keywords in here.
One. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
So there's no more in this section. No more keywords that jump out to me. So we'll just drag that over there and move on to the next video.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
And Diane. So, uncle, and then Diane. Diane brings up some new stuff.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids.
We should search kids and Christmas. Right. So we got a problem here. This was the blue dress one, right? Yeah, I was calling this
Diane
the
is
blue
really
dress.
nice.
Let's see, blue dress. She wears blue a lot. 25-06-94. Add that to the session.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
So, again, we are getting the music. So, you could, in theory, this is nice this has happened, both videos. There are obviously some videos that are tagged to be specifically pointing out potential endings. So if you just took this here and saw this and said, oh, well, that means she's innocent, and didn't go any further, then yeah, I could see that you would think they were innocent. And I think we're gonna get kind of lucky. We may end a little early here, because I want to end on this video because I happen to know, or at least I'm pretty certain to know, that this is an achievement video where she's gonna play a song, does the guitar. At least I think that's where it is. We're doing a decent job filling in these things, but I think it's gonna get a little bit tougher to find some of these. Notice there are still long strips of videos here in the late sections that we haven't even touched. So they must start talking about something else eventually. And we still haven't found number 1 or number 2. I still really want to fill in all these beginning things. Now, how I'm going to get all of this in order is going to be kind of weird. I know that. And I don't know if it really is going to be worth it, but I guess I'll do it anyways to try to sort all these videos this way. It's not going to be super hard because I could bring up the videos and then look at the times. If the screen was bigger, or if it told us the time and date somewhere by default, that would be nice. So I could just back and forth sort it by time. But I think I'll probably have to play each video, look at the time, and do it that way. Not a big deal, and we're not to that point anyways. So let's do this. 1.
Sam and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
So I guess I'm gonna tease that one then. That isn't the actual video where she is playing the song, but it's hinted at it, so I'll go ahead and put guitar there. I guess we could try the word song. Yeah, it only gets mentioned once. And guitar, let's see, maybe this is the one. Well, since we'll try it.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. but he only cared for the youngest one. All the dreadful wind. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with her pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swan. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
So, the music's playing again. That song almost is a confession in itself of what happened. And I don't know if she was really playing the guitar. Let me know in the comments if you think that she was really playing the guitar. Because it didn't look like she was really actually using her thumb to pluck any of the strings. It looked more like she was just going up and down and then mimicking changing the fingering positions. Now I don't play guitar, so I don't have any reason to speak on that, but nor have I actually watched many people play guitar, so that could be very accurate, and she was actually playing. So yeah, that's a good one to end on. In 3 videos we have found 3 different endings, and I suspect we've either gotten really lucky. That video was right here, so it's kind of in the 2/3, the last third of this database. So we've either gotten really lucky, or we're gonna see a lot more endings as we continue. I'm glad we made it at least a few recordings before we got to the ending. It would be a little bit disappointing if we found the ending very easily. Now, of course, they specifically, when you type in the word murder, show you the very last video, and they're doing that intentionally. But I think that's good. I'm not gonna go further with the guitar search. Well, I guess I should. I might as well look it out, because who knows, I may never run into these other 2 videos again, so we will just start off where we finished. So that's another recording of her story. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button. It says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.